Hello, everybody. This is Sue Holland with Real Estate and Real Talk. I'm here this evening with Theresa and Hannah Ellis, and our special guest, Matthew. And he is Ellis. He is with Rainbow in Restoration, and he is going to be sharing a tremendous amount of information this evening, folks. This is free information about how you can, prevention on your home. And what if something does happen, what you can do to, remedy the problem. So take note. Again, this is good to know. So we appreciate you being here. And let me go ahead and throw his phone number out here. It's 256-546-9777. Give him a call or text. Is that your company number? Can I text? Okay, good. Okay, you can text him. And so we're going to start off with Matt this evening, and tell us all about what you do and about mold and mildew. Because listen, this is of course real estate related because we see this quite often.
Yeah, so I just want to say thanks to Sue and the beautiful real estate ladies here tonight. So we are a restoration business, so that is water, fire, and mold generally. So if you have water damage, you have a fire, we can clean fire and soot, and we also deal with mold. I do want to make one little public service announcement before next week, because if you've looked at the weather, if you've heard anything from James Spann, it looks like it's going to get really cold. Starting Monday night, it's going to be below freezing, probably all day. Tuesday will stay below freezing, and so that means Wednesday, when it starts to heat up, that's generally when you've got frozen pipes that start to bust. So keep that in mind. Take all the precautions you can to keep those pipes insulated or warm away from the cold air so you don't run into that. It's a messy situation, and you don't want to, especially when those pipes start bursting in attics. You've got water everywhere and you've got drywall everywhere. It's not fun. So just remember that. Try to take advantage of the time before Monday to do that.
And I'll remind my tenants, y'all heard that. Cover the pipes. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So on mold specifically, we get a lot of calls sometimes with mold just being in a bathroom. That's pretty normal because bathrooms are a very humid and moist environment, and a lot of times your exhaust fans and stuff just don't keep that moisture out. So having some mold or mildew in that circumstance is pretty normal. You just want to clean well and as best you can. The more you can clean and kind of keep it away, the best. Another thing that we run into sometimes is, and especially older homes, sometimes there's just a small room or area, even like closets, that just don't get the ventilation, and sometimes humidity will build up, especially if it's an exterior wall. Like I said, I see it more in older homes, but mold will kind of grow in just that room, and it'll be on clothes and things. So you can kind of watch for that. Other things that we see sometimes, it's a little bit harder to prevent. You've got tubs or showers that can be a slow leak. So slow leaks or a long-term leak is something that insurance is not going to cover. So you want to try to watch for those things as best you can. Sometimes they're really hidden, and unless you're going in your crawl space.
Insurance won't cover?
Not if it's long-term.
Really?
Insurance only covers sudden loss, and that's pretty much in every policy.
Wow. Oh, okay. Okay.
They can be lenient, I would say anywhere up to maybe 3 months. But if it goes beyond that, and so one thing that we're always asked is there mold present? Because in most circumstances, if it's a sudden loss, mold's not going to grow that quick. So mold is usually a sign that something water issue has been going on for a while. Doesn't mean that they won't always cover it, because there are some circumstances where, especially in the heat, the summer, they'll grow faster and it can take over quick. So I'm not going to say they never do, but that's something. So, unless you're going in your crawl space, which most people aren't, that's where you see some shower pan issues and some things from toilets and stuff that can just be a slow leak. You don't see the water popping out because it's just slow and it's going down.
Right.
That's when you're going to see some mold, and that's when you can kind of get into some either dry rot or wet rot, and that starts affecting your plywood. A common misconception with mold is people always want to use bleach. You shouldn't.
I was going to ask you about that, because that's what I've done in the past.
Yeah, so again, it's different in a bathroom because pretty much all your bathroom products have some type of bleach.
Right.
It's more of a mildew thing really in your bathroom.
Yeah.
But if you get in, so especially Basements are generally humid, especially here in the South. And I've seen pictures and I've seen it happen. So if your basement's really humid, so you have a moisture problem. For mold, you have to have a moisture problem. You have to have something organic for the mold to eat. It needs that fuel. And then you need the mold spore. If you go and spray bleach in a basement that's humid, it looks like it goes away for a day. But what that really does is that bleach kind of aerosols it. It's kind of a defense mechanism. That spore just poofs off everywhere. And that humidity is still there. And so it'll actually double, basically. The mold will come back.
Spread it around.
Yeah.
You just activated the mold.
You basically
Spreading
just set off
COVID.
a mold bomb.
COVID.
So you don't want to use bleach in really heavy mold environments like a basement or a crawl space.
So what do you recommend to clean bathrooms with then?
Well, a bathroom is different. So that's more mildew.
Basement. So what do you do? What do you recommend?
Well, the correct way to remediate mold is to go in, you HEPA vacuum it, you're getting the major part of the spore, and then you hand wipe it generally with an antimicrobial chemical. There can be some dry blasting in crawl spaces and stuff to get rid of it too, but then it all has to be HEPA vac. So that's really the proper way to deal with mold. Yeah, it's a lot. It's kind of intensive.
I can't write it because I can't spell that.
Because you can't stir it up. So in other words, when you clean it, you just have to use a cloth or something and then vacuum up the.
Yeah, so the first is we're trying to HEPA vacuum. We're getting the major part of the spore gone, so you're not spreading it in the air, and then you go back and you hand wipe it. It's reversed if you do the dry blasting because you're getting it off, and then you have to vacuum it, all of that dust, and it will contain the spore.
Do you have to seal it after you do that?
You don't always have to. That can be an extra thing to seal it, and it would probably depend on kind of your circumstances. So, in a crawl space, you have to contain your moisture, first of all, which could mean encapsulation in a dehumidifier. It could mean just some, newer plastic. Every situation is a little different, but you have to get rid of the problem because the humidity, if that moisture is there, no matter if you do it perfect, at some point it's going to come back because there's mold spores in the air.
Right.
Is encapsulation, is that 100%? Is that like absolutely keep them all away?
As long
I
as
have
you...
a crawl space. I don't have a basement, but I've thought about doing that, but it's expensive. So I want to make, they'll tell you sometimes just to, do this.
Which app do you want to open?
Oh, that's my... I don't know what's going on. It's my watch.
Why
I'm
she
thinking,
talks to
what?
you when you don't want her to
Who's
talk.
talking to me? I don't even know what it is.
Siri's always listening.
She's always butting in my conversations.
Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
But because you talk to companies, and I've had one company come out and do some work anyway, but on the crawl space. So is that a 100% guarantee if someone encapsulate, that definitely gets rid of the mold forever and ever?
It's pretty close as long as you get a dehumidifier with it. Because if you encapsulate everything, so let's say you have a water leak that comes from inside, that's just going to contain the moisture at that point if you don't have, and the moisture is going to find its way in. So you can be in danger if you don't hit a dehumidifier. You could just trap more moisture. So you would need to do that along with it if you do it.
Encapsulation
Yeah,
too?
we do.
You do? Really?
So we can do that.
I was going to ask
See,
her
that's what we
Something
had a
newer that
bond.
we're doing.
I know.
I was going to ask
I know
her
that
a real
because I'm
estate
such a big
related
nerd.
question about the mold. Does that have to be done before a house gets approved? Do you know the mold issues? Do they have to be taken care of for a lender to?
It does seem generally they do.
Okay.
We live in the South and we live in a humid environment. I could probably go in every crawl space and find a little bit of mold.
Right.
But that's different than if you have a real problem. But home inspectors are kind of their own thing. Some of them are going to find stuff and some of them aren't.
True.
Doesn't mean it's not there.
Right,
I
that's
feel like
true.
I've seen it all. But, they make a lot of sprays now, supposedly, where you're spraying it in. And that can trap it, some of them say they kill the spore, but, even a dead spore is technically still an allergen. So
Okay.
your body's going to react to a dead spore or a live spore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's not just killing it. It's not.
That's why you have
can
to
kind of
vacuum.
trap it with. Yeah, that's why you're really wanting to get
Yeah.
rid of the spore. You're not really wanting to trap it. And even if you trap it behind these kind of sprays or they're sticky and it's kind of there, again, if you have enough moisture, it can start to eat through. And sometimes you see that like on a painted wall or a painted brick or something. What that mold is really doing is it's eating that paint. There's just that moisture. Which again, you have to have both. You have to have that moisture and then you have to have the organic substance for it to eat. But
Question. Black mold. There's a difference, is there not, between like regular mold and black mold?
Yeah, there's probably, I don't know how many different species of actual mold there
really?
are. There's a lot.
But I hear that in real estate lots. And
Black
here's the
mold.
thing: this, I had a wood infestation guy do this. He says it's black mold, and I was like, he went in there and looked at it, and I said, don't you have to be able to determine that? I mean, you can just look at that and tell. He said no, but I was told that's not that easy to do. You really do have to maybe look at it differently, maybe a lab or something. You can't
they'll
just
have
look at
tests.
something.
Yeah.
So we do
test
that.
it.
So when we take a
it's kind of
sample,
ideal.
Yeah.
so we also do that. We can take a sample of it, and it does have to be sent to a lab, and that's why I know there's so many different types. So the black mold are the most dangerous. It seems. I think it's called Stachyboris. I don't find that much actually. The most common one that we kind of see is it's called Aspergillian. But it's a really normal one, and it just kind of causes kind of some sinusy issues, runny noses, and things like that. That's what a lot of them do, and it's one of those things too. I'm not a health doctor by any means, or have any, but what I've noticed, it seems like your body can kind of stand it for a little bit, but if you stay in an environment, your body starts to weaken because it can only handle those spores if you're kind of in a heavy environment for a while, and then you start to have more of those sinus problems and stuff. But it can be a hard thing to find. So sometimes we get calls and we do these tests. People start having these sinus issues or things, and we think it's mold, and sometimes it is. But we can do air tests to find out if it is, and sometimes they're just having some other health problems. But it is usually one that doctors want to try to knock off the list, or people generally want to knock off the list.
But so it is true. They do have to test it and make sure it's black mold or whatever kind. Even a termite guy can't go in there and go, "Who's black mold?"
No.
Or a home inspector. Oh, I'm just telling you, some of them will, and it will kill a deal. It puts the fear in people.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, you need someone who's a professional who knows how to really look at that and know what it is.
Yeah, and I would say that a lot of the TV shows and stuff have put a fear into people about mold, and so they even see, the mildew on your shower can look a little black. That's not black mold. I haven't yet seen it be black mold, but again, just clean. And it does matter what type that it is, but you can't just visibly look at it and say, oh, that's that type of mold. It just doesn't work that way.
That's good to okay. All righty, there you go.
And like I said, you really don't. Another thing I've just mentioned, a black mold generally comes from really long term. It doesn't usually happen quick. It's one of the ones that you're going to find more if it's been a problem a long time.
I don't know what this was. I went to a house one time. It was in the a partial basement, but it was finished. And on the surface of the wall, there was like a light green, yellowish film. Is that a type of mold?
It can be. So what I've seen a lot of times too is if people leave their homes, especially in the summer, let's say they go 6 months and don't leave any HVAC on, that house will get humid. And it is kind of almost a yellowish gold.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's white, but especially like paneling, it'll be on the inside of cabinets.
Yes.
But that's mold.
And this house was vacant.
Yep. So it's another thing. If you're ever
Oh my
leaving,
gosh.
you don't want to turn everything off.
Right.
You want to leave it. You can turn it up or down depending on, like the summer is going to be the worst, but leave the air on a little bit because that's going to control your moisture.
No, that's good to know because if you have your house on the market, let's say it's vacant, you've already bought a house, listen to what he's saying. Keep the temperature on. You can always put a note on there, don't adjust thermostat, whatever you need to do because you're going to pipe your bus if nothing else.
Yeah.
So, then you will be calling him to come clean the carpets up. So, fires. Someone has a fire, you guys handle that?
Yeah, so we do fire mitigation, and what that entails most of the time is you basically, even again, if that soot is there, you don't want to just paint over a soot because there's more and more paints that aren't porous, but a lot of paints are, and so you think the smell's gone, and those paints will open up and stuff so that smell can come through. So again, it's kind of the same principle with soot. You basically want to remove that soot particle. And so even sometimes, like with food or a protein fire, the soot's not as visible. It's more almost a clear, but it's like a film. But that particle is still there. When something burns, that particle has to go somewhere. And it generally goes on the walls or the ceiling or things. So the basic principle of that is removing the soot particle. Sometimes we can remove it and you can't even tell it's gone, and sometimes we remove it and there is some staining there and things have to be repainted. But we destructure, and then we also do all contents. And we do a lot of work with insurance, and so we make lists of things that are non-salvageable if it can't be cleaned, and so that can be replaced. But a lot of things can be cleaned.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to kill, let's say they kill somebody in their house and have a lot of blood stains. That's not gonna happen. I'm kidding.
Oh, they do.
We
They
do that.
Clean up. They clean up
But-
after dead bodies.
That's called
Yes.
it's biohazard.
Oh my God, you did it. Oh my gosh.
Holy comforter.
I'm not saying that's what we wanted
Hannah,
to do. We don't want any dead bodies.
It's true.
No, so the police, I mean, y'all get calls from other authorities.
Well, and their
saying,
accidents happen too.
"Oh,
when
yeah,
people
call
are
an
alone.
accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people fall down the stairs or, similar things.
I'd say
So
the
kind, Lisa.
I watch a lot of Discovery ID, so.
Yeah.
playing How to Train a Killer here. But
Well, now I know who to call.
Don't give any
Yeah.
secrets.
after you,
Yeah.
don't call me.
Matt's like, I don't know you.
Okay, I have a question. Have you ever been called to a trial
No.
because of
Ooh, that would be
anything like
interesting.
that?
No, so we haven't done anything to
good.
where I don't think anything's been mischievous or anything like that.
So
Okay,
far,
got it.
it's well hidden.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of times,
they haven't got caught.
A
so.
lot of times it's honestly been older people
Yeah.
in some of these older homes and stuff. And then, they die, nobody knows for a
Right,
few days or
right.
whatever. And so, they have to come and get the body out, but sometimes something's been affected. And so you have to either, if you're getting rid of it, you have to wrap it up right. Or if it's a hard surface, it can be clean. Carpet's not
Hopefully,
going
I
to be
won't
clean.
have any
but-
issues with this in real estate.
Yeah, I know.
But it's life. It's life.
They're trying to
yeah.
sell you the house where the murder took place,
No.
but they don't want you to know.
But actually, that's something we don't have to disclose here in Alabama. I get this all the time, and you guys may have too. You're out, and they'll say, "Has anyone ever died in this house?" Okay, and you think about it. The age that in this day and age, a lot of people die in their home because if they're in the hospital, if they're breathing, the hospital says ship them home, hospice care. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
So it's very, I hate to say common,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
would
just
say-
not unusual now
I would say
for
it's
people to bring their loved ones home. Hospitals don't let you stay there and recover like that anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, well, there's probably a good chance it could have happened. I don't know, just because it's just not unusual nowadays. But
Just don't think about it when you walk in the
Yeah,
house.
you're not going to know.
so if we never sell another house after this podcast, we know. I'm kidding. But anyway, so is there anything else that you just want to throw out there? Because
I
I mean, this has been great.
Like I said, again, with water damage and, there's so many things. Pipes can bust, dishwashers can leak, washers overflow, bathtubs overflow. I've seen it all, I think. But, you have to kind of weigh the balance. If it's a decent amount, water can get under flooring or it can get trapped. You want to make sure that you get it taken care of because otherwise you kind of have that moment in time, especially to file again. If you go back and try to do it in 6 months, it's kind of turned into long term. So you don't want to let water just, if you had a big thing overflow, you probably want to get it professionally taken care of.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good
God,
advice.
man, thanks a million. I would
Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
that. Well, yeah, but hang around.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk some trash here in a minute.
I'm not. I want to take the high
Don't let
road.
her fool you. She will. She'll talk trash. She will. So, listings. What you got?
I have got a beautiful piece of property, 10.5 acres with two, not one, but two RVs that are already hooked up. One of them is a 2022 model, so it's basically brand new. And has a storage building, 20 by 32, has a septic tank already there, so you could just pick out a spot to build and build your house and live in the camper while you're building it. So that is at one. I've got it listed at $159 for the acreage and the two RVs in the storage building, and it's at 7451 Scenic Highway. Go up Tabor, make a left. You're at Scenic. Not too far. It's 10 minutes from town, but you're privacy. You're out in the middle of the woods, so.
But that might have a nice view, huh?
Oh, it does. It's up on a hill, and it's got a beautiful view. So.
Hannah.
I still have my 1126 Sutton Bridge Road. It's the commercial property in Rainbow City for $219.9. So I still have that one. The house is grandfathered in if you want to remodel the home, or you can tear it down and have a commercial property. But I still have a few things in the works, so hopefully next week I'll have more to
Good.
share.
Rainbow City is thriving. That's gonna say. Every time I turn around, I see something new in Rainbow
It's
City.
true.
So that's a good piece of property. Somebody out there an investor needs to jump on that.
Yes.
Actually, the Rainbow City should just call Hannah and
I'm
buy
welcome to
it.
call.
True,
Yes,
true.
So
Great
I
investment.
have one that I want to just talk about. Gray Street, 844 Gray Road, in Gadsden. We have it for $179,900. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It sits on 1.78 acres. It has an old barn, but it's still standing. It's in great shape. Sure as I say that. No, I won't say that. But anyway, it's very pretty and has hardwood floors, except, of course, in the kitchen. Has a bonus room, laundry room. So it will go FHA or VA. The seller is fantastic to work with. So give me a call and let's get that one sold for you as well. Let's get it sold. Let's get you into a house. Stop renting. You're throwing your money away.
Right.
Make it a point. 2024, you are going to become a homeowner. We've got great lenders out here and we can get you to one. So, and before I forget, the sign behind me, survey says that we need a new sign. Thank you for everybody who texted and commented last week. I do have a new one coming, so it will show the logo. And this one's still up tonight. That's good. It may fall, as sure as I said that, but that's okay.
Might fall in the middle of this,
That's
but
okay. And I was going to talk a little bit about the market, but still, we're going to talk something else. Okay. Let me, before we get into this, I have to give a shout out. If anybody wants to add this, you can, to my friends, Alex and JC. They do a lot of work for me on my rental properties and at my house. And whenever they come over, sometimes we just talk football. And there's a lot going on in football right now.
what would that be?
And I wonder what that could be. Roll Tide. But anyway, but the sad news last
The
week,
sad
you would
day.
think they died.
I know.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
true.
I mean, really. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, the man hasn't passed away. He's just got a new chapter in his life. But, the big story is, Nick Saban has retired. And, I mean, everybody dies sooner or later, I suppose. I don't know. But
Might as well, huh?
yeah, so, okay, so here's.
Might as well.
Okay, everybody, whoever you need to post who you think is going to comment, rather, on who you think will be his replacement. Because they have to decide that pretty soon, do they not?
Well, they don't have to. I read where they said they were going to have a decision within 72 hours. I don't know.
72 hours. That's
Yeah.
pretty quick.
They have to keep all the recruits
Oh.
and stuff. But I also read an article today said that where the Vegas betting they were done, and that made them think that maybe they already had somebody.
Yeah.
Of course,
So who
you're
do you
reading a
think
lot.
it's going to be? We're going to call it.
I think Lane wants it. I don't know if
Oh,
Lane
sure
will
he
be it,
does.
but I like Lane. I don't know if he can win everything like we're used to, but
Well,
I don't know enough about him.
Oh, I don't know any of them, but I mean, I like that Clemson coach because
Dabo Sweeney.
I love
Dabo
him.
Sweeney.
I like him. And plus he went to Alabama.
He did.
He's from that area, and I mean, you're not going to replace Nick Saban.
No.
Everybody's got their own style, I would think. But I think because he's from that area, he can adapt easier to Alabama. The recruiting, just the whole thing there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Lane Tippin can do that. He seems to me like he has a little bit of rebellion in him. For
I don't
some
know. I
reason.
think he has a really good offensive mind, though.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
for sure.
But yeah, Dabo, might create some new excitement coming back to Alabama.
And one coach I wrote it down, but Dan Lanning, he's out. Did I
He's
read
out.
that right?
Supposedly, there was
Oregon?
reports yesterday that he was in Tuscaloosa, and then I read that was all false. But yeah, he's a real young guy, a good coach. There's possibly Norvell, maybe from Florida State. We have a worker named Trey. He loves Florida State, so that would be just really good for Norvell to come to Alabama.
Him to actually
He wouldn't
kind of
like
like
that at all.
Alabama now.
No, that's going to make him hate him worse.
Be stealing coaches now.
See, we already forced him out of the playoffs, and now he stole his coach.
No, he does not need to.
Oh.
No, he don't. No, I'm going with Sweeney. I like him. That's my guy. I say that's who's going to get it. So there. So
that
you don't even want to call it?
I don't know enough about.
Well,
the
just pick one.
coaches.
Here, look at my list.
Oh, what's okay?
Well, like you said, we want
okay.
somebody really good, but you can't follow Nick Saban. So
Right, he didn't
We just-
follow Bear Bryant necessarily. I mean, he had his
yeah,
own style.
I mean, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
just, it's hard to come behind somebody that
Oh,
good.
right. Oh, yeah. You have to have the
Lane
drive.
Kiffin. I don't know anybody else.
Another lane.
Sorry.
Well, he is good looking. We'll give him that.
That doesn't win football games.
No, it doesn't.
He didn't Mississippi. No.
And somebody
Miss.
else
Oh, Miss.
said
I'm sorry.
that Sarkisian guy maybe.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's not going to leave
I
Texas.
just
I
hear
don't think.
names I don't
Well,
know.
who is Robert? Because Robert keeps up with football.
I think he would like Lane Kiffin, just because he went to Alabama, right?
I'm
And-
glad no one's asking our opinion because apparently my guy wouldn't get it. Hannah?
I don't have a clue. Whichever one is the best, that's who I want.
That's
Who's going to get us our next national championship?
I want him. I
There
want
we
us to
go.
get a good coach, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because do
Alabama
enjoy
will.
watching football.
That'll
so.
be
I hope
good.
so.
But anyway, so moving ahead, and I know we're going over a little bit tonight because we just had to talk about that. That's just everybody loves Alabama football. Who doesn't? Hannah, though,
Yes.
can you update us on Southern Home Show, please?
Yes, it's the Home and Garden Show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
My
okay.
bad.
It's February 16th, 17th, and 18th. It's in Birmingham at the BJCC. So the 16th is on a Friday. The hours are 11 to 8. That Saturday it's 10 to 8, and then Sunday is 11 to 6. I saw on the website that the admission is going to be between $3 to $11. I don't know how much it is or any specifics on that, but it's going to be an awesome event. We're going to have a booth set up, so if you're interested in selling your home or buying a home, come and talk to us. We even will have a basket that we're going to be giving away. There's going to be lots of giveaways actually from multiple booths. I think every booth has to give a giveaway.
And we're doing a basket every day, aren't we?
We're doing
think-
3, but
Yeah, 3
yeah,
baskets.
yeah.
So
Okay.
have a chance to win something. There's going to be food there, and like I said, the vendors are going to be giving away things too. So this is just an opportunity for us to expand. We don't just work in Gadsden; we work in Birmingham as well. So if you have
Northeast.
I was in
Yeah.
Decatur
Yeah.
this morning. So,
exactly, yeah, I was in
So-
Talladega yesterday. So I mean, we work all over the place. So even if you have a home in Birmingham, give us a call. We have knowledge of those areas too. So looking forward to making hopefully some new clients at that home show. Again, it's February 16th through 18th at the BJCC.
Theresa, you gotta talk about your son.
Okay. I'll save him for the end.
Okay.
Okay.
Are
First
you-
thing I want to do is for realtors, and that's the business after hours has been changed from Tuesday at 5:15 to Thursday at 5:15, January 18th, because of the weather, and it's going to be at the Etowah County Mega Sports Complex. So, all realtors out there, come out and but just don't come out Tuesday. Come out. Come out Thursday.
It's going to be too cold Tuesday.
Too
They're going to be
cold.
freezing.
No. As I said earlier, this is where the weatherman has hooked up with all the grocery stores because they need to sell bread.
Yes.
And what else?
It's getting slow after Christmas, so they're going to do the snow thing, right?
I don't eat.
Do you buy brown
Milk
milk?
and bread.
No, I go make sure I have my wine.
That's all you really need.
and your faucet's dripping, so they
Yeah.
don't.
All right,
So
I'll
don't
wrap my
freeze.
And your
pots.
heat on.
Make sure I have coffee. Good.
Maybe get your heat checked before the weekend too.
Yeah.
Serviced. Also for realtors, that your payment to the National Association of Realtors is due January 31st to avoid penalties. So you can pay online at www.nar.realtor or mail a check to the office or bring it by there. So don't forget about that because you don't want to pay an extra, I don't know how much it is now, 100, 150 or whatever. So get that paid. Also, just a couple of things. If you'll go to greatergadsden.com, this time they have just put all kinds of events. So I can't list them all. There's a couple I wanted to remind you of. The Tigers for tomorrow, Saturdays and Sundays is open with $5 admission, so that's a good little trip. It's not too far up the road. Blackstone Pizza, if you're a musician or a comedian or a poet, you can sign up. They're having an open mic night. So anybody that wants to do that will be Wednesday night, 7 to 10.
Is it every Wednesday?
That's what it's saying, Wednesday
really?
nights. So open mic night at Blackstone Pub and Eatery. And then, of course, don't forget about Sasquatch up in Sardis.
They found him in
And-
Sardis.
February 2nd. It's all day, y'all. He'll
where
be
is it
there
at
all
again?
day, and you can get a picture.
Where is it at?
And that's going to be at Bama Bucks.
Bama
so-
Bucks.
And they've got buck dancing.
Oh, boy.
Oh my goodness, my mom used to buck dance. Let me tell you, it's a real thing.
It's an art.
Dancing
Buck.
at-
Buck dancing.
Yeah.
Say that real carefully.
Okay.
And bagpipes, cowboy cooking.
Too many bees.
The Beverly Hillbillies will be there.
Oh.
So, and the crowning of the Possum Queen. So,
Oh, let's enter.
Oh boy.
What's I can be possum queen.
yes, you could.
I don't know if that's a
So
title
that
you
starts
want.
at.
I will throw it.
Let me drive
I'll-
this back
oh,
onto the road. Go on.
What do you throw
I was going to say, I'll throw in my plug. So I'm the sponsor chair for the Blue
No,
Ball.
possum queen.
No,
For the what?
the Possum Queen has nothing to do with the Blue Ball, thankfully. No. And Sue Holland just let me know that Sue Holland Realty is going to be a sponsor for the Blue Ball this year. It's a really great event for Man Up Gadsden that supports men's health, in particular testicular and prostate cancer.
Yes, that's
They go around to all the schools, teach young men, especially, kind of the dangers and things to look for, whatever. But it's a great nonprofit organization and a really fun event. So if you're interested, you can see me or email me. It's matt@rainbowrestoresal.com, or you can look up manupgadsden.com. But we hope you can come.
What date is that?
It's June 8th.
Okay, I'll put that on my calendar.
Okay, first I've heard, but it sounds interesting. All right, and then I'm going to plug my son's event that's coming up.
He's Matt Mitchell, also known as Casio Kid, and on January 21st at 6:30,
at Tristville Social.
he will be performing with David Lynham and R.J. Marchin, and they're just going to give you a fun night of comedy. The tickets are $50, and it includes a 3-course meal and the comedy show. So
That's good. Ticket plus meal.
yes, ticket plus meal. And I looked up where the Trustville Social was, and it looked like it was near the half shell oyster.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so
love that restaurant.
I'm excited. I haven't been to that venue before, and I always enjoy seeing my son. And
I'll be excited here. A bunch of us are going.
it's the first time you've gotten to see him. Because
This'll be fun.
Yeah,
This'll be fun.
the
So y'all
timing
need to
worked
show
out,
up.
the location worked out this time. So come on out to that.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that is all I have right
Okay,
now.
Okay. Well, let's see. This will be ready Friday. So tomorrow, Friday.
Oh, wait. I do
Oh,
have
the
one
light
big
just
thing.
came on, folks.
Oh, one big thing. This will be, go for the details, cityofgadsden.com, because Nakalula Campgrounds is closed starting January 15th. They're going to be doing an $11.3 million renovation at the Nakalula Falls Park and Campground. So go to cityofgadsden.com and see what all they're going to be doing to that campground and the surrounding areas of that. So I'm
Okay.
excited about that. I love going up there. So
Oh yeah, and the falls is just beautiful. I'm just glad our city's taking care of that. I think I want to say someone told me that's like the biggest tourist attraction in Alabama. Is that a rumor? Or is
I've
that
heard
true?
that before. So that
So-
could be true.
I believe
Who
it.
knew here in Gadsden? They need to put a nice 5-star restaurant up
I
there.
agree.
Oh,
Like-
that would be great.
Move Jack's out of the way. Okay, I'm just saying. I love Jack's, but like put it across the street. Put a 5-star, good steaks by the way, right there where Jack's is. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So vote for me mayor next time.
And she'll get us a steakhouse at the falls.
Now, speaking of voting, though, March the 5th, if you have not registered to vote, please do
Yes.
so. I
It's
am
easy.
running for County Commissioner, District 2, so I would appreciate your vote and your support. If you would like a sign, I'd be glad to bring one by your home and put it in your yard for you. And as I said, I'm having surgery tomorrow on my right hand, and when they do this one, then they're going to do my left one. And yeah, I'm left-handed, so now I'm good, kind of, sort of. But anyway, do you have anybody? Hannah?
I know. I think
Matt, anything else you want to share?
I'm
Thank
good,
you a
but no,
million.
thanks for having me.
No, yeah,
It was
that was
fun.
fantastic. I
That
mean, I
was
learned
fun.
some things I didn't know with the insurance and,
Good.
wow.
But I do have one thing to remind you of.
Can I guess?
I love it.
Like,
What?
share, subscribe.
and turn the notification bell on. Please comment. Let us know about
Yes,
Lane Kiffin
please,
or
please.
Dabo Sweeney. Who do you think will get it? And we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks. Bye.